seemed like the first one was kind of I don't know what it was. So this one seems like more and more we can get you healthy.
That's a little bit, that's different. You know, the first one, after 3 games, you know, still early part of the season, still getting a bunch of work. Now having 7 games, we are practicing. I mean, we went yesterday and today. I felt like it was good work. But a lot of the more or less younger developmental, those guys taking a bunch of turns. Any of these guys that have taken a lot of reps are been pretty limited the last 2 days.
Jonathan, David played all 81 snaps at safety. Was that a combination of that kind of reoccurring foot pain finally going away, or Omar departuring, or kind of what went into that?
Yeah, I know he felt good. He obviously was healthy, and he played well. Did some good things, tackling, getting lined up, helping the others around him. So we're always looking for earning that opportunity. He's earned it, and I thought he played well.
But health-wise, he's getting back to 100%.
Yeah.
He's got a Hamilcar in the last few weeks. Obviously, he's nationally up there in the top 3 in tackles for loss and sacks. He's Pac-12 in both. I mean, even with losing Addison, has that given him room to step up in that role?
Yeah, and he has. I mean, he's earned the playing time, and then he's been productive. We've been banged up at that spot, so he's getting a lot of turns, not just Addison. And so, yeah, he's done some really good things getting in the backfield. And I think Coach Tibbs and the scheme we're running is put him in some good situations, and he's taking advantage of it.
Obviously, you can't control the schedule, but such an emotional big win. Is it hard not to play?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't control the schedule, and you'll take the buys when they come. But obviously, our approach wants to be whatever the result previous game, we want to go back to work with great intensity and detail. These guys have.
Do you expect to get some guys back then next week?
Yeah, we're hopeful. I mean, with Eldridge, Jamar, we'll kind of see where Bradford's at. So yeah, hopefully get some guys. Yeah, possibly. It's still a ways away, but possibly more on Monday.
Shamar Smith.
Same thing. Hopefully, yeah. None of those guys I just mentioned should be ending the season ending anyway. So at some point we're getting them back.
Jonathan,
when Jamar comes back, has Artavis earned the starting?
I mean, he's earned and he's played well. Again, we're always trying to play multiple backs. So like even with Jamar down, BJ's getting some carries, and I can see that mix. And we'll decide on who actually starts the game. But again, we rotate those guys a bunch.
You said progress isn't linear a bunch of times, especially after that game against Utah. I mean, looking at what the results have been up to this point going into this second bye week, I mean, does it feel like that game against Cal was maybe something of a return for Beaver fans who've been hoping for a win like that?
I mean, look, we're trying to win every game, and it is. We've made some strides and took some steps back and made some strides and all of that. I think each week is new, and we got another challenge in front of us. 7 games in, kind of we'll look at digesting the whole season when the season's over.
You talked about the evolution of Riley Sharp, and obviously he had a big impact in the game.
He did. He's been working, and again, injury and some of it just his practice habits. He's earned those reps, and he was productive in this last game. And so, really pleased with his progress from week 1 to whatever week 7.
Just speaking on that a little bit more, Jonathan, can you just talk about the advantage of having a 21-year-old redshirt freshman in that regard? Yeah. When you have guys like Addison or Tago that were experienced, then you can lean on a guy that maybe doesn't have a ton of in-game experience, but he's mature for his age.
Yeah, I'd say he's mature. He works hard. He's really detailed and preparing and studying. Like I said, he's earned the right to play, and he was really productive and played well this last game.
Is Everett your kicker now on extra points and field goals, or is that a week to week?
At this point, week to week, but he's he made 3 extra points. That was great. We'd love to give him opportunity, but I thought that was a huge part of the game. Is you look at the red zone; those guys were really good on defense, and we went 3 for 3 touchdowns down there. It's a huge difference.
Coach Lindgren talked about it yesterday, but just on that 3rd and 10, him that he ran to Artavis Pierce on the 40, talked about that having the confidence from you, knowing you were going to go for it regardless of what they got on 3rd and 10, made that call easier. Can you just speak to that and how you kind of empower your coordinators?
Well, I think Bry's doing a great job, and we're in discussion throughout the game and getting into some 3rd downs and knowing what he needs to get to for us to go for it again or whatnot, and where we're at field position, score, we were going to go for it.
As it pertains to those discussions, I mean, are those in-game adjustments coming from you, or like what is that discussion that you guys are having there?
Well, we're discussing a bunch. I mean, some of it's scheme sometimes, some of it is like situational play call, like, hey, you do got another down here, or let's take a shot here, or be aggressive here, or don't be aggressive here. So we're always talking throughout the game.
So are you ever taking a play call from him
No.
late saying we're doing this, or is
No,
he?
not. He calls the plays. I'll just throw some suggestions his way, just like the whole offensive staff does. But he makes some calls. I just tell him if we're going to go for it up or down.
To see 9 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, or whatever the final
Yeah.
numbers were, and you watched the tape, what's the difference in this defense in 2019?
Well, I just think that he came out with a great mentality to attack in this game. Again, we weren't perfect. I mean, there's things we got to contain the quarterback better. The guy rushed for 100 yards. But I do think that we played an aggressive style in that game, which was the game plan Tibbs put together. And these guys went out and executed it.
Can you give us an early look at Arizona? What you think of the Wildcats?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're explosive on offense. They can throw it and run it, which is it's dangerous to play against. I think defensively, they do a good job on the scheme in. They give you a lot of different looks. So we're early in the prep for those guys, but I know they'll be a challenge.
How big was a win like this just for what these guys kind of were morale-wise after Utah, and knowing that there's, you take that step back, but all of a sudden you take a 2-step forward kind of game with a win here. I mean, what does that do not only for the recruits that you're trying to pitch on a vision here that things are going to improve, but also to your guys that are currently here and kind of preaching stay the course because it is going to get better?
Yeah, that part helps of getting blown out and then being able to respond the next week on the road and get on the right side of the scoreboard. I think it just speaks to a lot of what our players are doing. They're working at it, and they're trying to be in a constant state of improvement. And so that was huge for us.